Hi guys, I know I'm late. I'm sorry. It was a rough morning, but I've been working on some stuff for you guys, so you can't be too mad about it that I'm late. There's so much going on about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Monica. It's very intense. There's a lot more footage that's been like released or leaked from people, and so yeah, we're gonna get into all of that. Of course, everything in this video is alleged. Hi, Tati, how are you? Thank you for joining. I'm sorry I'm late. I look rough, guys. Whew, rough, strugs. I'm like, does anyone have a hair tie? I'm just joking. All right, guys, what did you guys think? This is a disclaimer. Did you watch last night's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? And if so, post some of your thoughts and let me know. I was surprised. I was not anticipating this. And for a couple of reasons. Number one, first of all, Monica just posted 39 seconds ago and she said receipts. I think Monica is trying to put everything on the hairdresser. Okay. She's showing receipts between Monica and the hairdresser, and allegedly they were like working together with the stylist. Do you remember the stylist that Jen Shah like cussed out and the audio got leaked? Do you guys remember? And she was like sitting at the kitchen table and like I think she was mad about a design for the reunion and she cussed him out. She was not nice about it and it was recorded and it got leaked. So I think that from what we know, what we're being told was being verified. The stylist, okay, the designer, and Monica and Tanisha are the people who were running this account. How many of you guys have heard of this social media account? I would like to know how many of you guys have heard of it, because I think I'm online. Guys, I told you it's one of those days. It's my plug. I'm online all the time and I've never heard of this account. And I feel like there was like an account that was trying to like take down Jen Shah, but I don't remember that being the name of it. So that's a little strange to me. A couple of other things. I want to see what you guys are saying. You could have knocked me down with a bloody feather when Heather said what she had found out. I know. And that's like another thing I want to talk to you guys about. Do we think that Heather put all the pieces together herself? Is that what we're buying? And did you feel like the last scene was rehearsed? Like where she takes them all down to the ocean. It's like real dramatic. Deb says, I believe that Monica was going down for the DMs. I wasn't surprised. I never heard of it. I did fall off my rocker because I had never. And then they placed her. This is why. Okay. Heather's talking to Jen Shah. You guys get that, right? You guys know that Heather is talking to Jen Shah. What the fuck? Oh, what the F Bravo says, I don't understand the hate for ex-blogger by bloggers. Yeah, I'm not hating their account. I didn't know about it. Was Monica a blogger that we didn't know about? Bravo Angie says, I never heard of the account either, but many other Twitter pages said they were in their DMs constantly. That's what I think is going to happen, guys. They basically were trying to get as much press and stuff out there as they could because they were definitely trying to get, Monica was trying to get into Bravo. Okay. She was probably watching Jen Shah's moves and trying to do anything that she could that would help do the same. I mean, she was like, picture Melissa. Monica's Melissa. I gotta get a hair tie. But I'm gonna leave you guys with that for 1 second. Monica from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is Melissa Gorga 2.0. How about that? How about that? Because Monica, I think, in my opinion, has done everything that she could to align herself with Jen Shah so that she could somehow get in contact with anybody that from Bravo that would give her an opportunity to talk, to lie, to make up or embellish her childhood, her story, whatever. And so she was desperate. So she started working for her. And when she was working for her, she found out about the legal stuff. So she immediately wanted to be the person who broke the legal, story. But the police had already been following it for 10 years. So she didn't really, do much there. And to me, guys, I told you guys a long time ago, nobody volunteers themselves to be a witness in a federal investigation or a federal trial. It's time. It's a lot of your time. Your time is money. I mean, nobody does that. Not with somebody with 4 kids. You're not going to involve yourself in a, huge, that's crazy. You're only doing that is the only reason she would have done that is if she liked the detective or because she wanted to be a part of the takedown to get some hype, to get some notice, right? Deb said, did you see that Monica blames Angie right away? Monica is a fraud, and I'm still wondering if she has the ring. Now, my other comment, yeah, I can't put those two in the same category. What's this one say? She does with the cast at all. Like, girl, you had to buy a Louis Vuitton to fit in and rent cars. Like, ooh. And you know what else? She's probably so mad that she used her card to buy that stuff for Heather, because I'm sure Heather was like, see, was it planned out? She owed Beauty Lab money. They go shopping and Heather pretends like she has no money on her for like $800 for an $800 bag. And she says, Monica, will you use your card? Hello. Attention. I hope everyone in the class is paying attention. She did it on purpose to get some of her money back because allegedly Monica had an unpaid bill at Beauty Lab. I'm just saying. That is crazy. That tells you that Heather knew. How long do we think Heather knew? Number one. Number two, just because Jen Shah went to the penitentiary, why wasn't Angie invited to the beach? Because I think Angie was, one, not affected by the account, or two, I think that she might have had some sort of a relationship with the account, like she was messaging back and forth. And like I said before, Monica's posting receipts now, but she probably brought hella receipts to the reunion, and it's going to be receipts of the other ladies talking shit about Jen Shah and each other, because they were all probably DMing the site. This is why I tell you guys, these sites, there's like multiple people that will run them, okay? And the clothing, Monica doesn't hide that at all. She doesn't fit in with the idea of wealth like red. I mean, absolutely. And like, I can appreciate that. And I could appreciate Gina from the Real Housewives of Orange County. She's not a great example, but when she left Travis, she bought a really small condo, and she wasn't shy that she wasn't, rolling in the money. And I can appreciate anyone's hustle. Monica's very pretty. She does seems to have a very authentic yet crazy life that people would maybe want to watch. But the fact that this to me says she has been on the move to be on the Housewives for a long time, and she found her in with Jen Shah. Secondly, Jen Shah and Heather are still in contact. Just because Jen Shah's in prison doesn't mean, honey, that you mean to tell me you think Jen Shah is in prison? She ain't on her phone with Heather? She told Heather everything. And they planned, I feel like they sort of planned this once Heather, talked to Jen, because here's the thing, just because they were speaking when Jen went away to prison, Heather was speaking with her. So telephone calls from prison are not as low battery, are not as expensive as they are from a county jail. So people get to call home a lot more in a county in a state or a federal institution, because of the fact that it's cheaper than the county. Like, it's like $30 for like a 15-minute call in a county jail, but in prison it's a lot cheaper. So she could be calling Heather, she could be writing Heather, but more importantly, Heather probably got approved on Jen's visitation list. And that means two things. One, she can visit her physically, person to person. or through video visits, so that Heather wouldn't even have to drive to the penitentiary if she's approved. They have a system, like it's like their phone system, and they do video visits. But you have to be an approved visitor. And it would also allow her to send Jen money while she's in prison. Joe has a really great question here. Do you think that Angie Harrington was involved? Remember her husband set up a hate account? I actually do remember that. And I actually thought about that to myself whenever this all came out, if they were involved or not. And that maybe Angie was going to use that as a storyline. And so she tried to get it off her chest, what she had done, so that they could maybe circulate back around to Monica. Maybe it was originally Angie and Monica that were going to join the show. Deb, thank you so much. Please, guys, make sure that you are hitting that like button today. It's a good, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was good last night. I think it surprised a lot of people. Tell me in the comments if you guys were surprised or not. I was not, and I do feel like it was very much planned in the way that, how is Heather getting this phone call on the last day of their vacation? Number one. Number two, her excuse was that she went to Beauty Lab and was going to buy Monica a birthday gift card and found out that there were 3 different Monicas in their system and that one had a balance. But I thought Monica was suing her civilly. Don't you think if you had someone in your system and they were suing you civilly, you would go in there and be like, do not, that's what we should do at doctor's offices. Like, if something went awry and we had to dismiss a patient, bet you it was noted in there 100 different times. There was 10 pop-ups and 2 overrides and 10 notes. Alan says, Monica would have said her exact involvement if she was directly involved. That's his point of view. I feel like Monica, I don't know. This hairdresser, like, why are we bringing this hair? I don't like when they start bringing people in that we don't know about, that we haven't talked to, that we don't, you know what I mean? It's okay to bring the hairdressers and the girls in for like gossip and stuff, but all 3 Monicas had the same birthday. What a goof. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Well, yes, but if she used a different last name in the system, it wouldn't have come up. That's true. That's true. And she did say that they had to look them up to basically figure out who was who. I just think that there's not I'm telling you guys that Heather got her money back in that store that day when she said, I don't have my card on me. Monica, can you please buy this back and I will give you the money for it? And the only reason I also think that is because Monica had to change her credit card to international, or her debit card or whatever it was, to international, which tells me that she didn't spend $1 the entire time they were there, right? When you've had to have switched your card to international sales, like your first purchase, your first purchase there. Let's see. She used a fake last name, but same birthday. Heather's business was counterstanding. Okay, this makes sense. So she probably just changed her last name. So like my last name's hyphenated, and they confuse it still. So like that would be an easy thing to do at a salon, to use a different last name. And then, but what an idiot. Why are you going to still put your birth date? Well, she probably did it because she wanted to make it look like it was an innocent mistake, like that she had gotten divorced or something in the process. I still think that even if Heather's business was countersuing, I know she has probably a lot of rich attorneys and that stuff's taken care of. She should still know who is and what. But remember, she said Monica said something that was similar to the page. Yes, Alan, you were so good. Guys, I forgot about this. Alan said that, remember, Monica said something that was similar to something the Instagram page had said about her before, and that's why Heather started to piece it together. Remember, Heather says, I never have met you, but you seemed strangely familiar. And she does kind of seem familiar. Maybe it's because she is like a blogger or like a not so nice blog. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but she does seem oddly familiar. I do feel like that. And then, though, guys, to piece together that she was the one in this Meredith store, that had to come from Jen Shah. Because it was Jen Shah's crew that was in Meredith's store, and Meredith had accused them of taking a clutch, if you remember. I think the clutch got returned, and it was said that it was by accident, or they thought they paid for it or something. And remember Monica joked in the beach and said she would make a fake page and tried to laugh it off. Yes, I do remember that. She was like, that's not something you would do, Heather. That's totally something that I would do. I'm going to read this comment. Tanisha said, knew about the account since the beginning, but Heather has kept her around. What's the difference? We don't know when Tanisha, that's a great question. We need a timeline, because we need to know when Tanisha told Heather. I bet it was, I'm going to go with Jen Shah likely probably thought the page was Monica, but didn't have for sure. Whatever. Maybe Heather sought this hairdresser out on purpose. How about that? To me, I think Jen Shah knew everything about Monica. And when she found out that she went feds on her and was going to, testify against her, and then she was going to come on to the very same television show that Jen Shah had basically, started, she would have been telling Heather everything about Monica that she knew, because Monica played her. Monica played her from the beginning. She played her as her assistant, which is really shitty. Now, you guys, I'm just saying that. So to me, I kind of feel like if this was a situation where it was something where me and my friends were dealing with it, I would want to go to, if you want to find out the information, you're going to go to the weakest link. Monica's on the show, so you can't go to her. The designer, he's probably, that wouldn't be a great situation. So Heather goes after the hairdresser and retains her and starts having her do her hair. Perfect, because then Heather can become her best friend. Heather can pay her well. Heather can tip her well. And then Heather can get her white girl wasted. Is it white girl wasted or naked girl wasted? Do you guys remember when Tamara said that? What did she say she was going to get Gretchen? Naked wasted. Naked wasted. That's what it was. And oh, yeah. Yeah, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Didn't they show Heather getting her hair done for 3 years by her? I don't know. Did they, Deb? 3 years? Uh-oh. There's no way. That would be crazy if Monica thought that she would do Heather's hair for 3 years and not tell that this site was them. That's crazy. That's smart. I could see that. Thank you, Bravo Fanta. That's what I'm talking about. See? I'm saying, like, you got to think, Jen Shah's in prison. There's nothing to do in prison but fucking think, okay? I'm a thinker anyways. Like, anxiety, preventative, I don't know what you want to call it, but I will think out a situation 10 ways to Tuesday. So I'm prepared for whatever way it may go. But when you are in prison, you have nothing. And that's why I think also I'm really good at identifying people and identifying certain attributes or the way people move, personality types, is because when I was in prison, that's what I would do that, like, in my head. Like, you put it together, you got to figure out who is who, right? I think that Jen Shah was in prison and she had nothing to lose. She saw this girl that was coming on to the show that she started after she brought her on as her assistant. She turns federal agent on her. And then she goes on the show. Jen is going to tell Heather everything that she knows. I think this comment is something wrong with this whole picture with Monica and Jen Shah with this whole mess. I actually kind of agree with this comment a little bit. I've kind of said that from the beginning about Monica. It did not really make sense to me that she was part of the federal investigation and she was like a federal witness, because I've said for a long time that every single person involved in this case said, I will tell on Jen Shah. I will testify under oath in a courtroom against Jen Shah if I have to, you know, and I'll sign here, but I'll testify. Everyone was ready to testify. They had a ton of people that were flipped on Jen. They had Stewart. He knew everything, okay? They didn't need Monica. Why would they need her? They would not need her. And she went looking for them. She even said that. She said that she saw what Jen Shah was doing and she thought it was so wrong that she was going to turn her in. And here she was already turned in. Like, so that I think she was, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think she was sleeping with the detective. I know that sounds crazy, but the man that she was having the affair with, he was a firefighter, I think. A firefighter or a police officer. And I just think that there was something going on there. They show her getting her hair done this episode. Good job, Lisa. You're right. She also was trying to see what name was on the card. Yeah, Heather looked suspicious the whole time in the store. And production tried to make it look like she was suspicious, as in like, ooh, Monica's not going to have enough money to pay for this bag. But that wasn't it. Deb says Heather set the entire thing up. She played this reality game to a T. Did you see her push production? This was all her scoop. She is like that. If it is, she's probably getting a big fat raise. Because it was good. You know, Salt Lake City was good this year. I don't think anyone wanted to sleep on Salt Lake City, but we were not expecting this. I just wasn't expecting it. Because I didn't even know about this account. There were so many accounts that were trashing Jen Shah at the time. That's what else makes it difficult, because there were a lot of accounts that were against her. Jen Shah had a lot of enemies, you guys. If you didn't watch her back in the day, I mean, she had no filter. She had a lot of enemies, and she was burning people. I think she didn't trust production and didn't want them to know who she was talking to. They need restraining orders against her. She sounds dangerous, especially to them. Bravo would be less likely to bring her back. Don't trust Bravo either. I especially agree with that last part. Yeah. Let's talk about some stuff that's come out on the internet since last night's episode. We got footage of Monica Garcia allegedly wrapping a scarf around her head and driving past Jen Shah's house, taking a photo, sending it to somebody else in the chat. Some people offended that she was driving past Jen Shah's house. Other people offended that when she like put the scarf on, that she said like, oh, I look pretty like this. Maybe this is my father's maybe I found my father's, did she say nationality, or like my father's heritage? It was a little confusing. I think people were, it kind of, again, another question mark, like something seems a little off here. And she was driving past Jen Shah's house with nobody else but the designer that Jen Shah had went off on, right? Joe says Jen is lucky that Coach stayed by her side. We don't know if Coach stayed by her side. Here's the thing. A lot of people get divorced in prison. Okay. I knew a lady, bless her heart. She was a nice lady. She was drinking at a baseball game and she left, and it's really hilly, like near this area where I like, you know, a couple of counties away, and she hit and killed a judge on his bicycle, and she got 10 years for it. But because the kids were in the car, there was a guardian ad litem involved, and allegedly the guardian ad litem started sleeping with her husband, but she had no idea. And during this time period, she gets sentenced to prison. And when she calls home, she, you know, her little boy's like, Mommy, why is the lady from the courtroom swimming in our pool? Well, it turns out they were doing the hanky panky. Anyways, let me get back. So people get divorced in prison all the time. It's all in what you want to put up with. And I feel like Jen Shah, especially since she swings both ways, Jen just wants to make sure when you're in prison, like, you got to have money to get by. It's not cheap in prison. You got to have money for, you know, your clothes, your shoes, your whites, your phone. If you have any sort of like phone, like tablet or music, it's like $3 a song to download. It's expensive to be in prison. So to me, I feel like Jen is getting the best of both worlds because she loves women. She's probably like worshipped inside the penitentiary by other women who are cooking for her, doing her laundry. She has money, so because there are in prison, people rank by class or money, just like in the real world. Seriously. So like somebody you'd be like, I don't know why it just makes a difference, I guess, like because it shows if they burned every bridge in their life. Two, if they were like a hustler, because there's like some girls, they walk around, and you'll be like, oh, they shop like $200 a week. They got people writing them letters. And I remember there was this one girl, this guy sent her a pair of shoes and he didn't speak English and he wrote her this letter and she couldn't even read it, but he like sent her like a brand new pair of Nikes. They were like really nice. Where did Jen Shah get all the fake designer bags from? In the UK, you go to Turkey. Ooh, that is a girl. You are killing it today with the questions. I would love to know that too. She had a lot of fake designer stuff, and I feel like, do the other ladies have just as much? Like, did Jen have a hookup? Or did one of those ladies have a hookup? To me, Heather doesn't seem like the kind that would spend the money on designer because she just doesn't have that sort of like elevated mentality. And that's not really an insult. We have to talk about this. By the way, Heather has lied for over a year about her black eye and supported a felon. So I support felons because I believe in reintegration and reducing recidivism. But Heather did lie about this black eye. I did a TikTok before the episode aired, and I was like, if I do not find out what happened to this woman's black eye, like I am. Alan, are my comments pumping up? I might have missed him, Alan, because I was going off on a story. Let me see here. Alan says, I think Monica is 100% more dangerous than Jen. I think so too. If the girls were smart, they would refuse to film with her. I think they are going to refuse to film with her, but then again, I think they aren't. I originally heard that they were, but then Monica did an interview that was like, oh, I think if everyone could just get past it, we would be okay. Like, we're a great team of people and girls, and we just love each other. Alan says, I think okay, so let's go back to the Fed thing, talking about Monica being a federal witness in an investigation when she has 4 children. If you're going to like testify against someone who's doing something illegal, aren't you a little bit concerned about your family's safety and who they're affiliated with? I mean, that's just me. And Alan says, I think she planned it all. I think that she probably... I do think that I don't think she's like smart enough to plan something out this extensive, but I think that she knew she had a goal, like Melissa Gorga, and she was going to do whatever it took to get on the show. And I think that just like Melissa Gorga used to, Monica was placing herself around Jen Shah. So trying to, make a contact, make an affiliate, make some sort of impression, to where she could get her foot in the door somewhere. And when she wasn't able to really do that, she was like, let me go insert myself into this federal investigation instead, because if I do that, that sounds kind of interesting. Maybe I could go to the net, she was going on and on and on. Deb says Monica's a drifter. I think so too. I agree. How the hell would they get past that? AC says, I think so too. Monica had nothing. She had nothing to lose. And she has no level of, I want to say, like, she's not embarrassed. The woman shut down a car wash to do a TikTok dance. She was literally not letting people get their car washed in the lane that she was in because she was making a TikTok video. Like, you have no... Either her mother has embarrassed her so much in life that she just like has no, no embarrassed. There are some people that like they're just never embarrassed. Like they're just not. And I kind of feel like Monica might be one of those people. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a hard worker. There's nothing wrong with being a hardworking single mom. I would love and appreciate that. I don't think there's anything wrong with being on a housewife that doesn't, maybe have a 6 or 7 figure income, that's a single mom, that's in an area like Newport Beach or, something like that, or even Salt Lake City. But don't come on as Jen Shah's ex-assistant. You also were part of the federal investigation. You offered to testify. You were running a fake account that was attacking Jen Shah and her family. I almost wonder if like somebody made friends with her through the Instagram site and helped and gave her name to Bravo. Because I think, oh man, damn it, my battery's getting low. I think, in my opinion, Monica was doing anything that she could to get on the show. And I think that the other ladies were most definitely DMing this account that was going so hard against Jen Shah. If you remember, nobody was really talking to Jen Shah. I mean, they were all pretty mad at her. And then she kind of made peace with them for a minute. And then she had to plead guilty. So it's like, I don't think they were on good enough terms that these ladies weren't messaging the site, giving it information. And probably trying to figure out who it was themselves. Just saying, they could have dropped their names to Bravo. Heather kept this in her bonnet about the black eye. And I also think Heather may have known on early about Monica. I think so too, Deb. I think she made Monica buy her that bag because she was like, bitch, I'm getting some of my money back. Catherine says, but they're showing her at the reunion with them. Are they for sure? Do we know that, Catherine? Because Jen Shah posted, did you guys, well, it wouldn't have been Jen Shah, but did you guys see what was posted on Jen Shah's Instagram? I don't think she's coming to the reunion, guys. Let me read you this. It's not nice to Andy or nobody. It's not nice to nobody. Oh, honey, they even updated her profile picture. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Where's that? It's not her story. They took it down. No, did they? Okay. Let me read this to you with a little bit of feeling. It says, Bravo in big, full letters. Can I screenshot this or pause this or what? I hate when that happens. It says, Bravo. If I punched Heather in her eye, you would have footage to prove it. It's clear that the show, sorry to keep hitting this, it's clear the show can't live without me since I was brought up at the beginning, middle, and end of the season 4. Andy is still butthurt that I turned down his one-on-one interview. Let me read that again. She's saying her old boss, Andy Cohen, is still butthurt that she turned down his one-on-one interview. Why would you sit down with someone who gave another cast member a black eye? Next story, please. That's from Jen Shah. Jen Shah's Instagram. I'm sorry. And it just shows you guys again. She has people on the outside helping her. All she's got to do is call and give them her username and her password, and they can go on and post. I think for a while, Coach was posting his story or his journal of what it was like for her to leave. And then allegedly she was writing in stories to him. And a lot of them didn't exactly seem accurate to me. Here's a little example. This is journal entry number 2. She says, today's Saturday. She's writing from prison. She's sending it to Coach. He's putting it on Instagram. Today is Saturday. There is 6 a.m. brown bag breakfast brought into the common area of our unit. I was so tired and didn't wake up, but Special K got one for me. Special K is her friend. She is kind, and there are not a lot of kind people in this place. If had 1 piece of white bread, an apple, 2 packets of jelly, and a packet of instant oatmeal. I ate the piece of bread. That's very true. That's a bag. Usually there's a milk though. So usually it's like a brown paper bag with a milk, a couple packets of jelly, a couple packets of instant oatmeal, and some bread. A lady was offering instant coffee in the common area, but I didn't have a mug. If you don't have a mug to drink from, you got to buy a cup. I saved the apple and the oatmeal packet oatmeal packet in my locker. I didn't get to go to commissary until Tuesday. If I get hungry, I can at least have something to eat. You're like really hungry in admissions in prison usually because you can't get to commissary. So they tried to kind of run this story. Like I think they thought it was gonna be like explosive and people were gonna. I think they thought it was gonna be like the Orange is the New Black or something. They were gonna be really into Jen's. It just didn't go over well. At this stage, I think Lisa needs to rethinking what happened with her ring. I just think that she would have, I think she would have been caught if she was doing it because she would have had to have pawned it. And I mean, it's hard to steal stuff like that, I feel like, and then not get caught because where are you going to pawn it at? You know what I mean? Like, if Lisa, I'm sure Lisa's not dumb. And if she had to make an insurance claim off of the ring, then they probably looked at everyone that was around and they were probably look into it themselves just to try to save themselves the money of having to do a payout to her. I honestly don't think they had footage of it. Bravo would definitely roll the footage if they did. Plus, I heard that's why they cut the season short last year because of the black eye antics. Oh, I didn't hear that. I agree, Deb. Heather has a sly thought process. She probably thought something wrong with Monica, but wanted all of her receipts together before she laid it out. Alan says, yeah, Alan, you text me, please. Alan's my home. I love Alan. No, you are not at the same level as Felon Shah. I love you because you are a person who made a mistake and never oh, thank you so much. You never can lie about your mistakes. Like you got to use them for good and hope that other people can learn from them. And I had a crazy weekend. I told Alan about it because it was like something I had never dealt with before. And sometimes being a good person, unfortunately, puts you in some sticky situations. So her sleeping with a brother-in-law and proud of it was the first red flag to me. I agree, AC. It's all of these like huge, she likes to give you she likes like a wow factor. She likes to like give people the dramatic factor. It says, now I do believe. Hold on, I was reading this comment from Cocktails. Now I do believe that if she really punched Heather in her eye, that there'll be footage of it. I don't know I still feel like, is that what a black eye looks like when a girl punches you? I mean, I guess it would depend on how you punched her. They were allegedly doing drinking and doing mushrooms that weekend. Like they were getting messed up. And I feel like I can see that in Heather because she's bad Mormon and she's doing everything that she missed out on before. And I think that Jen knew she was going to prison and she was like, I don't think she was like an addict or anything, but I think she was probably getting messed up. I mean, she did actually tell the judge that she wanted to go to this specific prison because it had alcohol treatment there. So it's possible that she was over drinking, over medicating, and dabbling in other substances. But yes, guys, that weekend they allegedly or that girls' trip, they were allegedly getting missed. Okay. Yeah. There's Tay Tay says, will Monica be sent? If Monica got caught with Lisa's ring, she would be probably charged with like receiving stolen property, which would be a felony. And then they would take that to court, indict her. And then if they have, like, say hypothetically, if she sold it to like a pawn shop and they were able to find the pawn shop receipt and they were able to get her on film, they would charge her with, they wouldn't be able to specifically know for sure if she stole the ring. Somebody else could have stolen it and given it to her, but she would be receiving stolen property. There would probably be like another charge for selling it. But it would be like a high enough felony and the judge would take like the circumstances into consideration, that it's obvious she probably took the ring from her friend. There would be a victim impact statement that would be allowed, so Lisa would be able to write a letter, and she would be able to address the court and the judge and everyone and let them know about her experience losing her ring and why she feels, what she supports for what she thinks Monica deserves. It looked like she also had a bite mark on her right upper arm. She also seemed to gesture to it. I really agree with you, Catherine. When they kept flipping back to the scene of Jen and Heather and Meredith, when Heather takes her sunglasses off, when Meredith first sees the black eye, someone had pointed out a long time ago, and I don't know why I remember this because I remember really strange things, but they said whenever Heather and Jen told Meredith, it seemed like Jen was jumping in and answering all the questions. Like she was answering all the hard questions. And so much so that it made them like suspicious of her. And I was like, So when they watched it back, it did seem like Jen sort of took over and started answering the questions. And I think that's because Heather would have had a hard time, or saying, I don't know what happened. I think she knew it sounded such like bullshit. She never would have been able to say it unless if Jen said it right then and there in that moment. And then Heather could just go along with it. Why did Monica go on the program knowing what she did? She got some blocks at that one. I think for any opportunity, honest guys. Catherine, again, I don't know if they got into a fight in the hotel room after hours. That seems a little production misses. Let's be real here, though. Production misses everything.
I believe Heather over Jen Shah.
I'm sorry, guys.
I believe Heather over Jen Shah.
Okay. I forget what I was saying. Production missed the whole scene, the whole thing with the stripper, Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know y'all know what I'm talking about with Strippergate. It was Halloween. The girls were dressed in lingerie. They were drunk, and they told production let's be done filming. We're done. We're bored. So production's okay, I think we have enough footage. Whatever. Y'all have a good night. And allegedly, the stripper was in the other room, waiting on production to leave so that they could get their thing on. Now, it got so loud that it was waking up all the other ladies in the house, and it was actually allegedly Kenya who came downstairs, heard the ruckus that was going on, and she called production to get there to film what they could of it. Bravo missed the whole Kathy Hilton scene. How did you miss the whole Kathy? I mean, Kathy had a breakdown from the club to the Sprinter van, and from the Sprinter van to the house that you allegedly have all cameraed and mic'd up because it's the house that the ladies are staying in. Nobody got anything? I mean, I just feel like Bravo, that's their favorite thing to do now, is just to not have footage of it. It's Bravo, Bravo, Bravo. We're just going to Bravo, Bravo, Bravo. That scene right on out of here. I mean, maybe they were fighting, maybe they were drunk, maybe they were, I don't know. I could almost see them. You guys remember the blind items, right? About Meredith and Jen and the other man and the steak restaurant. Anyone? Raise your hand, class, if anyone remembers the rumors about Meredith and Jen. And the married man. Remember when there was all the rumors that Meredith was seeing a married man, and then people couldn't really figure out why Meredith and Jen hated each other so bad. And then we heard that Jen was with the same man, and then eventually they just were let's just make this a menage a trois right here in the restaurant. And Meredith, you can get on the floor. This is, swear to God, that's what the blind item said. It that was everywhere. Tell me that you guys remember the item that said Meredith and Jen were sleeping with the same man, and they went to a steakhouse that's very popular in Salt Lake City, and that they were putting drinks back, and that Meredith got on the floor to give Jen a little bit of lovin's. Yeah. But I could see Jen and Heather sort of being more than friends, because I think Heather's still really experimenting with what she is and what she wants to be as a person. And I think she feels really denied from experiences in life because of her religion. And so she's trying to relive them. Like, it's okay to miss part of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyone think production knew about Monica and just used it to re-escalate the show? This was like a mystery movie plot. They clued Heather in to be Sherlock. She had to have help. There's no way that she connected all of these dots herself. It worked out best for Heather because of the fact that there was the lawsuit with Beauty Lab. I don't know. Bravo has a tendency to like vet these people, and either they don't vet them very well or they're doing it on purpose. We saw this in the Real Housewives of Orange County. The first episode that Heather Dubrow came back, if you remember, they had a big sushi party. And there was a girl there that was trying out for the show. I think she was like a friend of. Funny fact, she dated Jim Bellino. Her name was Nicole. She was your typical Newport girl. And she had been involved with like a couple other women who had sued Terry Dubrow like 10 years earlier over the job. And she didn't say anything to anyone. And the only reason that they found out is because Shannon got drunk and told Gina and Emily. And then by the time the party rolls around, somebody told Heather Dubrow, and it was like a whole thing. And allegedly Terry like spit on a cameraman and everything because they thought, they were so set in their mind that production had set this all up. They were all in at Salt Lake City. They must have been an overlap somewhere. Even when production leaves, they still have the cameras on. I mean, exactly. Like, I just cannot. Also, guys, I just felt like this scene at the ocean was very it seemed staged. It seemed inauthentic. Like, I mean, that would how did you guys react? Were you guys more surprised than they were on TV? Because I really felt like I was more surprised than the women that she was telling it to. Just didn't seem real to me. It didn't seem like it. And how is Heather telling her to pack her bags and leave? When have you ever been able to kick a girl out of a girl's trip? Production can tell you to leave. If you guys remember back on Real Housewives of New Jersey when Teresa and what is that old lady's name? We'll just call her Grandma. When Teresa and Granny got into it in New Jersey, and they were all staying at the same house, when Teresa and Louis got back to the house, production was like, somebody's got to go. It's either Granny, and I'm sure Teresa didn't want to have to make Grandma pack all of her stuff up and all that stuff. So her and Louis went and stayed at a hotel. But it was production that came in and said, like, you can't stay here. So it just seems a little weird to me that Heather's like the Donald Trump of the, like, you're fired, like, pack your stuff and leave. Jenny says, I agree. It seems odd. Catherine said, it seemed real to me, but I'm no expert. I love you, Catherine. You are an expert. Monica strikes me as the kind of woman that would your husband and make sure you knew she did it. Yeah, I wouldn't leave her alone with yeah, because she has no boundaries. You can tell that she has no boundaries. She's almost like to the point where she'll push you to, like, if you're a nice person, she'll push you to have to be like a mean person just to try to set a boundary with her that she won't respect anyways. What do you guys think about, yeah, but Monica told Lisa to leave. Like, what? I mean, but Heather said, pack your bags. She was like, pack your bags and leave. Somebody said, do we think that she actually had family in Bermuda? She showed text messages that were allegedly from production to her discussing like a cousin and an uncle and somebody else, it seems like production called her family down there and they were the ones that like explained what was going on. It wasn't like Monica was like, hey guys, I know I haven't seen you guys since I was born, but I would really love it if you could pull through for me just this one time. There's going to be a woman calling you, Bravo production, you can make sure that it's authentic online, it's not a scam. They just want to film a scene with us. I'm a TV star here in the United States. Like, no, nothing. She just let production get a hold of these people. So imagine like not talking to a family member and all of a sudden getting a phone call from Bravo production, which who knows if they even watch, like they probably don't even watch TV like that in Bermuda. It's like so beautiful there. When you live in like people that live in like real beautiful like places like that, they're not like super into like, what I'm saying. They're earthy people. They usually, you're not going to find them spending extra time in front of the television. Like they'll be outside. Nothing wrong with either, just my opinion. She said I've had both. Oh, bye, Dad. Thank you so much. It was so great that you could come. Make sure you guys hit the like button. T-Page was way better than Rachel. Oh, for sure. Let's talk about this for a second, guys. Bravo 1, 2, 3, 4. First of all, Jennifer Aiden is a beast for making sure that she said that. Jennifer Aiden had to insert Bravo Lover 1, 2, 3, 4 into whatever she was saying in a way that production couldn't cut it out, because I feel like they would have if they could have, because they are always protecting the Gorgas, and now the Gorgas are best friends with the Fudas, and so that's just going to mean that they're going to follow under the umbrella of the Gorga protection. And this is what the Gorgas do with everyone that comes on the show. If it's not someone that's directly related to Teresa, like her realtor or something, they usually try to bring them onto their side and cover them with their sort of protection that they have with the producers and their relationship that they have with the producers. But this is very much unconventional, even for the Real Housewives. Okay, I don't know. Like, I wish that they would tell us whose Bravo and cocktails are. Like, I would love if New Jersey would, I mean, don't make it a whole plot, but like, can you guys find out who Bravo and Cocktails is? We've always heard so many rumors about it being like so many people. Also, guys, I want to tell you, love Melissa Pfeister. Their podcast, Namaste Bitches, comes out every Wednesday. But Melissa Pfeister, there's a fan page. You guys should go follow it because she's so sweet and so humble and so supportive. And we just love her over here. So I think it's like Pfeister, like Fierce and Feaster or something like that. And she's so beautiful. She looks great. Oh, what's love? Oh, okay. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about Vanderpump Rules and about Tom taking these photos with Tiger? Team up with Dishing Dana to investigate it. Listen, Joe, I love Dishing Dana. I've known Dana for a long time. Okay. I mean, not like decades, but like for a long time. She was the first podcast I was ever on, like way back in 2020. And she was the one who, encouraged me, to get started. Her and the real Andy BH, because he used to post from his car, because I was always like, I work, I have the baby, like I'm in scrubs, like I don't have the luxury of a studio, and it's like, you just make it work and you figure it out. But if you guys want to hear a really quick statement to talk about Tom Sandoval, I'll do that, and then we can wrap it up if you guys have any more questions about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So Tom Sandoval took some photos with a real live tiger. We don't know where the tiger was from, what kind of advertisement it was for. We were just seeing a clip of him with a tiger being obviously having like a trainer, and they put like a big bottle of like milk up at the top so that the tiger would jump, and when it jumped, it put its paws on Tom Sandoval's shoulders and so there. And so a lot of people are appalled by Tom Sandoval because of the reason, using tigers that are in captivity for photo ops. You know, a lot of people feel very strongly about those sort of things. As they, and I mean, just like people feel very strongly about human trafficking. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone has their passion, and you know, the community, they're always strong. So Lala Kent has responded. She said, I'm appalled by the photo my cast member took with a tiger in captivity. The topic has been close to my heart for many years. What is disgusting as fun and cool is in fact animal abuse. It's heartbreaking. I've made noise about educating yourselves, and here I am to tell you again, do not support places like this. Do you guys remember? Yeah, he took these photos. I can't show you guys because it's YouTube, and like they always are trying to come at me, but you can definitely find them online, and Lala Kent, she posted them on her site. But it is the point that the tigers are in captivity. If anyone was around for 2020, did you guys watch, what was it, that documentary, The Tiger King? Remember, you'll like, I feel like that showed me how much animals were really in captivity, and how they were really treated at these places where you go that are like animal little parks. You think that you're going to a good place. And LVP, did LVP say something? If not, you know, that's a great point. What a freaking idiot Tom is to do that. What those tigers go through is incredibly sad. And yeah, it is truly, truly. Get PETA on his. I know, Joe. I'm sure they will be. And this comment, did Lisa Vanderpump say anything? I don't know, but I bet she will, because Lisa Vanderpump is not scared to speak out about anything, especially animal cruelty. I mean, going to China to talk about animal cruelty, like with cats and dogs, like she has went around the world. They did a video, I think, one season about it, if you remember. I remember Kyle like coming late. Just joking. But yeah, they're pretty disgusting. Don't know exactly what he's trying to even pursue. But then also Monica, besides posting some sporadic receipts, she also posted a photo of herself. She thinks she's really cute. She's in like a little black t-shirt. You guys know she has like a 16-year-old. She has 4 kids, but one of them's like 16. And then she's holding like 2 black and white pieces of paper that look like the newspaper. But they look like old school, like 1920s, like the flapper days. And it says, Reality Von Teese exposed, Salt Lake City's very own gossip girl. I guess who would be the gossip girl? Monica? And then the other one is the Washington Post. Monica is reality nonsense, real life gossip girl. Real life gossip girl. Petty like liars. Oh my gosh. Wow. She wants it. I'm just saying, like, and then like some of the women did seem genuinely hurt. Like, I don't know I wish I could, I mean, has anyone tried to find the account to see if it even still exists anymore? I mean, if it had a lot of followers, I don't think that they would probably get, I mean, because obviously the more you have, the better, you know, you're doing. I don't think they would just get rid of the account. What did Joe say? Hold on. Joe said, in India, they treat tigers awful. They sedate them. The humans can pet them. That's so terrible. Ugh. Thanks for the thumbs up. I'm sorry I have tried to get into LVP or whatever it's called. I just can't get into that show. Oh, Vanderpump Rules. Completely understand. It wasn't my Vanderpump Rules to me is like one of those things, like you can watch a couple episodes and get up to date about the whole season and be done with it. Like, it's just not that deep. And maybe it's meant to be like that. We know Tom's his favorite, but he's overstepped the mark, and Sandoval was there too. Yeah, we know Andy Cohen definitely has his favorites. See, I don't know who runs By Wig Hello Drama, but I love that account. If you guys don't follow that account on Instagram, you should get with that account, because they were already doing what I was thinking, going to Reality Von Teese 2. Looks like there's a 2. Let's see what we can find, guys. I would bet that it would probably be the hairdresser. And I bet that if Heather knew ahead of time that this is what was going down and that the hairdresser was like the rat, then I think that she would have probably leaked information on purpose, specific information on purpose, just to see where it would go. You guys, when I look this account up, this reality Von Tees, there's a 1 and a 2 and a 2.0 and a 4. Let's see what they say. Okay, so the first reality Von Tees has no followers. None at all. So, I'm sorry. It has 6,000 followers, but it's never posted anything. So, okay, we can count that one out. And then I think it must be the reality Von, the second one that has something on it. I don't know why they would create 4. Jesus. Probably trying to monetize off more than one account would be my guess, since there was multiple of them. Let's look at the second account. This is Reality Von Tees 2. Okay, this one has 25,000 followers. It says, your local Real Housewives Salt Lake City hot tea for entertainment purposes only. Anyone that calls themselves an HOE in their description on Instagram just says, ooh, her accounts are like the gift that keeps on giving. You're right, though. It is. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. Let's see what their last post was. Oh, and they had a Twitter. See, I bet people really. There's some people that are like so super like they love Twitter. They're on it and they know everything that's going on. Let's see here. What was the last? So all of the posts are at the very beginning are about Jen Shah. So it has Jen Shah working out. They took her video and put someone's preparing for federal prison. They took a Ronald Richards tweet and kept, posted that. And then they also did Jen Shah, free Jen Shah, in your essence means you're upholding the Constitution. So they posted about the interview that Adam did with Jen Shah, if you guys remember that. They also post from the courts. They post all the dockets. I told you guys before, there's a difference between like court documents and they posted Empire. This is a little weird though. Why would they post Shannon Beador out of nowhere? Her runway dress, her Project Runway star. Is the guy who did her dress the same as this? Okay, the caption says, wonder if Shannon Beador berated screamed. Because don't forget, Jen Shah screamed at her designer and the audio got leaked. And he is one of the people that's accused of being part of the scheme that was running this account against Jen Shah. He's also accused of being the gentleman that's actually driving the car when they're driving past Jen Shah's house, and Monica takes a video and sends it to somebody. It says, I wonder if Shannon Beador berated and screamed, didn't pay, and assaulted her stylist like Jen Shah did hers. Doubt it. Same situation, different results. And then she tags at the Holy Bravo. Well, who's the Holy Bravo? This is 93 weeks ago, guys. I can't do the math on how long ago that is. If you want to, that would be great, but I cannot do it. Okay. They tagged the Holy Bravo a lot. Let me see if I can open up another tab real quick and see. I wonder if that is the stylist. Does anyone know? Is that the stylist? Because she has receipts of Jen Shah posted on here. And it is about the whole thing that happened. So let me read them to you. This one, and this is again about the stylist that she cussed out of her house. Jen, I can't believe STU chains flipped on you. I hope you can get out of this. You deserve so much more. And she replies, this is November 19th, they're making it seem like he's flipping on me. It's just a hype. People don't have all the information. They'll see when it comes out what's really going on. I still need a lot of prayers. Now they tag the this Holy Bravo. Who are they? This is their conversation with her. Anyone follow that account? Must be a gossip account, but now I'm sus. Like, were they trying to be nice to Jen Shah on purpose? Then they messaged to Lisa, is your friendship with Lisa totally over? And they put, you'll have to watch. Jen responded, you'll have to watch and see, but I think the message is pretty clear. Here's another thing. These messages aren't Instagram messages. They look like iMessages through iPhones. I wonder if that's the stylist. I feel like it has to be. Oh God, they also post about Ted on here. Okay, I don't get into politics one way or the other because I think they're all. But I know Lisa was getting a lot of beef for protecting or donating to a gentleman that a lot of people didn't like who was running for president in 2016. And they are really using it. So that there's more messages from the Holy Bravo. I think the Holy Bravo might be you guys know what I'm saying. The Holy Bravo just keeps popping up. I don't know who it is. It has to be one of them. That's why they're tagging it to get information, and they tag it throughout the entire page, you guys. The Holy Bravo. I gotta find out. Jeez, I gotta look it up. Hold on. The Holy Bravo. It's gotta be the stylist, or would it be Monica running another account that she was trying to monetize off of? So she's tagging herself. Bravo Boo follows this account. Okay, this account has 1,700 followers. It says they are a digital creator. They're doing God's work, one Bravo-led DM at a time. Send me your Bravo tea and I'll post anonymously or won't share it all, whichever you prefer. And so they were tagging it allegedly because of Jen Shah. When was the last time these people posted? Hold on. 18 hours ago. They put flashback to my combo with Jen in July of 2022 on Reality Von T's. Jen says, and Reality Von T's account is I don't know how to say his name, but he's his designer. It's KOA. This is between them. She says, and Reality Von T's account is the designer and his friend that run that account. Obviously, my biggest fans, LOL. The Holy Bravo says, oh my God, are you serious? That's huge holy shit news. She replies, the account has been shut down, but they keep putting up new accounts. Hence the reason they had to start numbering their accounts. They should be more careful because they could get sued. My attorney sent out a cease and desist to the accounts that were posting that rumor about Trump University like 2 years ago. I have Reality Von T's blocked, so I don't, and then it cuts out. So obviously I told you guys Jen Shah knew the whole time. Jen Shah went to prison and got with Heather, and when they said she probably wasn't even going to bother her. Like, Jen Shah had no reason to, oh, bye. Sorry that you had to leave, guys. Make sure you're hitting that like button. I know you guys are kind of getting a little bit of breaking news today, huh? So crazy. So Jen knew back in 2022 that this was not, that the account was the designer and his friends. Because let's be real here. Monica's not Jen's assistant. Monica was friends with her designer. Think about that for a second. Why would Monica have gotten with the designer to start a hate page against Jen Shah? Even if she didn't want to get on the show, she wouldn't have initiated it likely. And the only time we ever see her near Jen, with Jen, or around any of Jen Shah's people is when she's with the designer's people who run over to Meredith's store. I say she was friends with the designer. When Lisa and the designer fell out, she saw her chance to befriend Lisa and say, oh my gosh, you're so right. I can't believe that he talked to you like that. Like, let me help you. I used to do all this kind of work in the past and I'll take care of it, yada, yada, yada. And she probably just sucked up. You know how Jen Shah is. She loves a yes girl. Joe says, is he the designer she was screaming at the leaked footage? Yes. That's how deep this goes, guys. Yes. I cannot pronounce his name. I want to say it's Koa, Koa, but I'm not sure. And I feel bad. I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm about to just start calling him K, but that might be disrespectful too. But yes, it is over the designer. That's what I'm saying. Monica was friends with you guys. If you just sat here and did this with me right here, are you guys all thinking the same thing? Monica was friends with Jen's designer. And when the designer and Jen fell out, Monica slithered her way in to be Jen Shah's friend. And probably doing little errands for her, whatever. Because Monica has 4 children. So there's no way that you're going to have 4 kids and you're going to be on call 24/7 as Jen Shah's assistant. Give me a break. Not on Jen's side, but how do you get in touch with Jen in prison? Okay, so I'll tell you guys how to do it. It's very easy. What happens in prison is everyone is issued a prison ID number. That is like your social security for the rest of your time in prison. Everything that comes to you in the mail has to have your prison number. You could address the envelope, and if you just put their prison number, not their name, it'll get to them. That's how much they go by a prison number. So it's really easy. You just we're going to go to federal inmates search, and we'll go to federal inmates. It usually takes us to a site where we are able to search. They also give a lot of information about the reintegration process, what they might be doing. So then you go to find by name. Was she Jen or Jennifer? I guess we'll try Jen and see what happens. And it was H-A-H, right? No, that was not it. She must be under something a little more. Let's say Jennifer. Was it S-H-A-W? No. Okay, this is how you guys can write her, and I'll tell you what institution she's at. I'll give you the facility information, but first I'm going to give you her ID number, and I'll put it in the group chat for you guys because, I'm not saying I'm Jen Shah's biggest fan, but what I am going to say is mail is everything when you're in prison. And so I think that any sort of card, letter, anything like that, I'm sure she gets lots of it, is nice. So her prison number, this is what you're going to need on your envelope when you write it out. You'll write it out to Jennifer Shah, and you will put 37357-509. Okay. Yes, anyone can write prisoners. You don't have to be approved to write a prisoner. You have to be approved to visit them, send them food boxes, clothing boxes, anything on the outside. Usually with the phones, what happens is you have to call your people, and the first time that you call them, they have to sort of go through a process saying that they're willing to accept phone calls from this institution. And then after that, you can call as many times as you want. So, facility. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something else. A quicker way that you guys might be able, if you wanted to get a hold of Jen Shah quickly, they have what's an electronic. When I was around, I don't know if it's different in the federals. We called it JPay, and it's basically emails back and forth between you and an inmate, because the inmates, it's getting so tech, they have like these music tablets, and so they're able to receive their, it's not emails, but it is at the same time. You can send photos that way, and you don't have to be approved for that either. But you do have to buy stamps. So you would have to buy stamps to send your email to Jen, and then you would likely want to send her some stamps to reply with. I'll find that out for you as well. But I did want to let you guys know that Jen Shah, again, with her prison number, it looks like she's here in Texas. Why did I say here in Texas like I'm in Texas, you guys? What the heck's wrong with me? Got some visiting. Where's your address, though, y'all? Come on now. Oh, okay, here you go. It's going to be 1100 Ursuline Avenue, Ursuline Avenue, Bryan, Texas. And it's going to be 77803. Now, before Jen Shah went away to prison, I actually DM'd her because I think that she was, I think that's when it came up there that she might be dealing with like drugs and alcohol, or alcohol abuse, I think. I'm sorry, I just added the joke part. And she didn't reply back to me, but like I just was telling her to like prepare herself. A lot of times, usually rich people, before they go to prison, they will hire someone to, I don't know. I don't want to say teach them the ropes, but like give them like a quick prison 101 almost, if you will, because if you go into some place like that and you have no idea what is going on, you're going to be a target. This is not a big institution, guys. There's only 681 inmates there. That's not a lot. This is pretty much more so of a camp. Okay. I'm just saying 680 inmates is not a lot. Okay. When you're at a place like Marysville, where there's like 4,000 women that have to eat 3 times a day, imagine the lines for commissary to chow to the bathroom. I mean, I'm surprised that they only have that many. And she sought this camp out allegedly because they had an alcohol rehabilitation program. And also, you have to remember that everyone has a security level, so that limits what institutions you can go to, because obviously some institutions are not as the security is not as high, right? And you have to have a low security level to get into the camp. So also, now again, how to visit an inmate, you would have to fill out the paper. It says, we remind all visitors to carefully review our visiting regulations and to observe any applicable state and local travel advisories of planning your visit. Because sometimes, guys, you have people traveling from another state to do a visit with an inmate. What do you do then, right? Don't you think they should get a little bit longer? So there are small exceptions. Small. And then, like I said, guys, the media thing, I want to see what they have, what they use. Listen, if you want to be a millionaire and you're looking for an idea and you want to invest in something, come talk to me. I make it happen. I swear to God, I swear I could make it happen, because I have a lot of great ideas. And one of my best ideas I'm actually really angry about, I told my family and wanted them to invest in this property and to put a gas station by this exit. They wouldn't listen to me, and now in the last couple of years it's blown up because they put like a FedEx and an Amazon down the road. Oh man, I'm like, you guys, we could have had such generational wealth here. We could have never worked again, but let me see here. I'm trying to find if they have any sort of, because if you guys remember, whenever Teresa and Joe were in and out, like she went away, came home, and then he went away and came home. If you remember, the girls would email with him a lot, and this is what they were doing. This is what they used, was like an electronic. Now it does look like they have a re-entry at this facility, which is good. I know that we naturally think that that would be something that comes with all prisons, but it definitely doesn't. So that's always a good thing. I'm trying to see here. Communications, I bet, is what it's under. Okay, here we go. Email, yes. So they use a system. It's called the Trust Fund Limited Inmate Computer System. Application enables electronic messages to be exchanged between inmates and the general public in a secure manner. With the inmates' eventual release, maintaining family ties will improve the likelihood of a successful reentry into the community, thus reducing the potential for recidivism. So it's controlled by this. I don't really have never heard of it. It's called Truelings. It's probably just like a, whatever. And basically, this is a luxury. This is not a necessity. So you have to be a lower security level to be able to be a part of Truelinks so that you can email your family. And if you're caught, sending anything that's inappropriate, if you guys know what I'm saying, then you will get in trouble and it'll be taken away because it's a privilege. And so also the prison monitors everything because it's electronic. So sometimes it'll be really quick because depending on who's monitoring things, they get things through really fast. And then sometimes an email or a photo could take, days. So, and again, this is all only if they are a low security level and, don't have any tickets, whatever. She's on reality TV. Do you know her? I don't know her that well. I mean, I think that maybe because it's federal, anyone can send money, which is strange because typically you have to be on the approved visitation list. So I'm not sure if it's different in the federal location, and it might be. But with visitation, you're most definitely going to have to go through an approved list, yes, because of the fact that there's a lot of things. Hi, Alan says, "Do you know in real life?" I'm confused. Anyways, guys, so that's just a little bit about where Jen Shah is at. If they were to do a interview with Jen Shah, they wouldn't probably be going to the prison physically. They only did that with Teresa because they were doing like the whole Teresa checks in, and she was in a camp which was a low level security. And Teresa, honestly, guys, she wasn't even supposed to go to prison. Their plea deal was going to be Joe was going to go do the time, and Teresa would get to, Joe was going to go do any time that Teresa had that the government wanted to give them, and Teresa would stay on probation, stay home with the children. But things happened. I think the judge got upset and he ended up giving her some time. Let's see here. So likely Bravo would stay in touch through a video visit through the prison, just like any other video visit through the prison, unless if they wanted to make an exception. So what falls under an exception? Well, say Granny's dying. Granny's passing away. And so because you can't be there, you want to have a video visit with your family. Then you could go to the religious unit and probably try to find someone over there. And you would have to ask them if maybe they would consider giving you a private room where you could do a video visit with your family because somebody's passing away. Then from there, after they approve it, it would have to go to the big building, to the big people, to the warden, to the assistant warden, and they would have to approve it. So it's not that easy to just go get interviews. You don't have privacy in prison. So if you think about it, if you're having a video visit with somebody, you can see everyone in the background. You're in the middle of the day room, right? These machines, there's usually one or two machines, and there's one in each unit. Some people have tablets. Regardless, if you do a video visit, it's going to be loud. You're going to hear people behind you. So Bravo would most definitely have to set up and make arrangements for her to have a private area to do an interview. And then I also want to know what she's going to wear. That's what I want to know. Because you guys know sometimes, like, if you watch 2020, their attorneys will come there and bring them a change of clothes. I don't know if they'll do that for Jen Shah or not. I'm just saying. That's what they're saying. Okay, so back to these accounts. Damn. Okay, so basically we just found out that Jen Shah knew about the account since way back in 2022. I'm making my timeline. That was, and let me make sure I get that receipt. All of you guys are my witness that this account at the Holy, what was it? Holy something. I can't remember names. Holy Bravo. Somebody said, when is Jen Shah's release? Give me 1 second. Let me go to my inmate locator. They're releasing her as of now, 5/2/28. What is that? Did it just turn 24 or 25? 24. She's got 4 years to go. She's probably going to get out a little bit early, though, because I heard the feds only do 80% of their time anyway. So, I mean, that would take off a significant amount of time. That would bring her down to like 5 years, maybe even 4.5. So, I'm telling y'all, one day she's just going to pop up like, honey, I'm home. I feel like her husband she's either given him permission to do what he wants to do as long as he doesn't get into a relationship. Because they're not, I mean, she'd still just show up. When they release you from prison, they don't really care. They just give you your gate money, and they don't want you standing around, so they'll take you to the bus station. Let's see here. You're not going to obtain any records, it looks like, from the prison, records about the federal inmate. There's a new law, it looks like, that would violate their things. So, and the last thing I'm going to say about prison is PREA, which is a prison program to help prevent SA. So it's it's called the Prison R Elimination Act. And that's a really big thing within the institutions too. So let's get back over here to Jen Shah back in 22, knowing about this account, knowing that it was her dress, her designer and his people. From this point on, Monica, in my mind, is a friend of the designer. She was not a friend of Jen's. She wasn't somebody that Jen met somewhere at a party with her own people, or another friend introduced them like you would normally. You know what I'm saying? Like, all we know is that she was her. Why were you were you applying for a job, Monica? Did you need a job? I mean, how did you meet this lady? I was her assistant isn't a good enough answer for me. So I really hope that Andy Cohen has some kahunas and ask the right questions, because I need to know that. Why? How did you even know her? Jen Shah wasn't putting advertisements out for assistants, okay? She wasn't trying to bring new people on her team. She was doing just fine. And when you have new people, you have to worry about things like this happening. But you know what? And this was another thing, guys. Jen Shah is not stupid. She got away with this for 10 years. She wouldn't just go around telling random people that she didn't, unless if she thought that you were smart enough or dirty enough to do what she was doing. Think about that for a second. I don't care if she's your assistant or not. If you're doing something illegal and you've been doing it for a very long time and you are taking money from elderly people, then you're not going to go around telling people that. You're not, even if you ask them to join the theft ring, you're not going to ask a lot of people. But she must have thought that Monica was dirty enough to get down. That's really not a compliment when Monica says that. When she's like, oh, she asked me. That's not a compliment. That's actually kind of says a lot about your personality. It kind of says that you must not be a very good person because she thinks that you would be okay with ripping off old people. Am I correct? Anyone? Let's read this one about Justin Rose. Remember when he got fired because of Whitney and they did that sex scene? Oh, I gotta be careful. They did that scene where they were painting each other. If you notice also, she got really mad, I feel like, at I feel like when he got really mad at the book and how Heather had portrayed her. Yeah, just saying. Let me see what this. Who's this? Must not be anything. Everything on here is Jen Shah. One of the DMs say it's Jen Shah's birthday, and someone's like, "Oh my god." Okay, so these accounts, anyways, there's 4 of them, and so Jen Shah must have been getting them shut down, and that is why there are so many of them. And that can be really frustrating when your accounts are getting shut down because of the fact that, one, you have to rename it, you have to try to get your followers again. If you were close to getting any sort of monetization, you can throw that out the window. And I bet their followers are going up as we speak. Let's just make a note right now that today, on January 3rd, Homegirl has 26,000. Is it 4:30? Oh my god, my daughter's gonna be home soon. All right, I gotta go, guys. Yeah. So go check out these accounts, and we'll talk soon.